Rolling. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Alan Zlotorzynski and Michael Torres here. Are you elite? Is the big question. And I tell you what, we're going to find out if you're elite because I'm here with Michael Torres. Now, Michael, you need to clear some things up for me because I'm a bit confused about, obviously the Orlando Phantoms have been your baby for so many years. But so I'm going to introduce you as Michael Torres, the owner of the Orlando Phantoms. You correct me with anything that I say wrong moving forward. But first of all, I want to say welcome back to the Brevard Sports Network. And you've got a very big announcement to make here tonight on BSN, don't you?
Yes. I do. I put it out on Facebook, but it can go out to everybody else.
All right. So up on the screen, well, that's not the one I want right there. I want the banner located because I think that this is the biggest and baddest banner. There it is. Michael, first of all, congratulations on the Elite American Football League. What is it?
We want it to be the premier amateur football league, not just in the Southeast region, not just in Florida, but we're trying to build this as the premier league in the United States. And that's our goal.
I tell you what, well, first of all, the way that you develop amateur football and semi-pro football, Michael, is to ensure that the people that play in the league are taken care of. Yes. Now, I have seen a lot of semi-pro football over the last 3-4 years here and abroad. And, there are a lot of question marks that surround certain leagues, certain teams, competition, this, that, or the other. What will set your league apart?
Pretty much the standards we put in place and upholding those standards. As you know, in some a lot of amateur football across the nation, the boards or directors or presidents, your commissioners, they set rules and don't abide by them or don't stick by them. And that's one thing where we will stick by. The other thing that will set us apart is that everybody on our staff has zero to do with any football team. We are all 100% committed to the EAFL. And the only way we feel we can do that is by focusing all our attention to that and that only.
As I look at the way that that you have run one of the premier amateur semi-pro football teams in the country, Michael, really, honestly, is the only way to look at what you've done with the Orlando Phantoms. What will you take from the lessons learned from running a semi-pro team in Orlando to this league? Why do you feel the need to make this jump?
Well, to be honest with you, about 5 years ago, I was the big proponent of saying, about creating one premier league in Florida, super league, and all that, and I had a lot of stuff thrown back in my face by people that are saying, well, why don't you create a league, or why don't you do this and that? And at the time, I just didn't feel it was right because I was having fun with Orlando Phantoms and we were doing very well. And, I didn't agree on taking part of that and having a team and not being able to commit 100% to a league. So right now, I just feel like this is the time. My head coach, Ron Scalata, me and him are 1-2 in this and jumping ahead, and of course the crew that we have together. So we feel right about now, we're gonna put our money where our mouth is. In the past, I've put my mouth threw it in the jar. Now I'm going to do what I said I was going to do.
Well, I tell you what, I've had the opportunity to get to know you this year, and I tell you what, our dealings have been fantastic. Our broadcast of Orlando Phantoms football this year has been greeted with exceptional reviews. And so I just want to say here, I want to make our own announcement as well that Brevard Sports Network will be the network that broadcasts Elite American football next year. And we could not be more excited about it. And what I mean by that is if the game of the week is in Georgia, well, that's where Brevard Sports Network will be. Now, the premise of this league isn't to necessarily show the best teams every week. What is the premise of this league in terms of broadcasting the games?
Our ultimate goal is to give every team the opportunity to show what the organization is about and how they put on as an organization, and not just that, but on the field. So when we do a game of the week, we are going to go to different locations every time. We're looking to get everybody seen, and also we're going to do the playoffs as well. So I mean, to have you guys come aboard the Brevard Sports Network is massive. It's we could be too happy or whatever. I mean, this is going to be awesome. I mean, to be able to
Yeah.
go out there, and I'm going to be out there with you. I'm going to be on site. My photographer that we use for the Phantoms, he's going to travel too. So we're all going to be out there taking pictures. All the pictures will be loaded on the website for our players and everybody to see. And of course, everything you do will be put on, of course, the Brevard Sports Network on YouTube and also on the EAFL YouTube page. So it's something that will live on forever.
Yeah, absolutely. We are just extremely excited about this, and this is really our first. Look, we've been operating for a little over a year now, and
Mhm.
broadcasting Orlando Phantoms football this year has been a blessing for us. So we thank you for that. Now, for those out there watching, and there are a lot of people watching. For those out there watching, if they're in the league right now and they say, you know what, Michael Torres is starting a league. This looks like a really good league. How do they get involved with wanting to become a part of this league?
Well, tomorrow our website will be all go. All right. On the front page, you'll see I'll have a thing for applying to register to be in the league. But even before that, you can call me. Phone number is 407-590-9717. You call me, we can talk, ask any question you want, however you want to ask it, and I will answer it 100% truthfully and no BS. Period. Straightforward.
I love it.
So you can get all the information you want.
I tell you what, the big thing is you look at some of the payouts or lack of payouts across this country for guys that have full-time jobs and lay their bodies on the line on Saturdays or Friday nights or Sundays or whatever days they play. But you recognize that and have said, you know what? I'm going to reach deep down and make sure that a lot of our teams are taken care of. Tell us about some of these unbelievable payouts in this league.
Okay, now in most leagues, it depends on how many teams join, and that would determine the payout. And there's a lot of structure, stuff that entails in that. We know other leagues have their guidelines, and by all means, God bless them. But we just feel like there should be a bigger return on owners' investment. They spend a lot of time and money in doing what they do, and then a lot of times a lot of these owners are coaches. So I mean,
Right.
they have double duty. So if they're able to get one of the four top spots, they're at least guaranteed their league fee back because our league fee is only $1,000. So
Wow.
if you're a conference champion loser, I mean, who pays the conference championship loser? We are giving you $1,000. Runner up 3,000, and the champion will get 10,000. Now, I just want to drop this to you. If we're able to grab a couple more sponsors, that runner up, and these numbers can change. So we are trying to give back to these organizations that do everything right and get to the ultimate peak of being the top four, a good return, because they deserve it. All right. Now, some of the players may say, well, hey, the owners get this, so what do we get? Well, we're working on promoting the players on our website. We're creating a page, a link that drops down on the menu bar for player film and information. So we can load their headshot, height, weight, team they play for, and then their highlight film from wherever they have a YouTube, Vimeo, or Huddle, and we could keep that. It's all separated by position. So if any indoor team or something wants to come over and look, or we want to promo, say, look, we got our players have film on here. They can come there and they can look for whatever position as long as there's film there for them. So I mean,
The
we're developing things.
the Elite American Football League, there you see the payouts on the screen. And here's a good question, Michael. King Tig wants to know, what about your team? What happens being that you're the owner of the league and the team? Why don't you tell everybody about that?
Well, I put this out a couple of days ago, and the Orlando Phantoms after this season. I mean, actually, I was just told, Alan. At first, I was told that we were out of the playoffs because we lost to the Georgia Cobras in a hard-fought game up in Thomasville, Georgia. But apparently, after they did all the numbers, I was told yesterday that if Steel City loses to the Blackhawks, we're back in it. So, after this season, the Phantoms are closing down. Once the APFL season is over, the Phantoms are folding up shop. I am not going to have the Phantoms, so I know that was probably the first thing when things came out. Oh, well, the Phantoms are creating the league so they can dominate and have them. No, the Phantoms are over. Like I said, when you run a league, my personal opinion is you should not have no dealings with any team. It's the only way you can focus all your attention on one thing, period. And that's what we're doing.
That is character, integrity, and but it's also, Michael, the end of an era because
Yeah.
look, man. I mean, the Phantoms. It's no secret that Brevard Sports Network, previous to this, had covered the Space Coast Tar Heels, but the standard in the area has always been the Orlando Phantoms. How do you feel about that?
But look, it bothered me a lot when I made that post. At first, I felt like, well, but then when you see all these people commenting and saying great things, whether we win or lose, my standard wasn't about, well, the brand doesn't grow or go down based on wins or losses, because I can still grow the brand and the Phantoms, and that's what I
Sure.
do over the years without having to win championships. And I think that's what we want to push to a lot of owners. Don't worry about wins and losses. If you're looking to build a brand, you can always build a brand without having to win championships. I'm pretty. It was a tough decision, but I think this was the next step. I really want to create the premier league in the nation, and I want to do it here in Florida.
Well, I think it's amazing. Now, let's go back for those that might be just joining this. And Brandon Howard says, man, that was your baby. And now you see a new
Yeah.
challenge. He digs it. And I tell you what, I have all the respect in the world for it as well, because this is something, as you said, you've wanted to do for 5 years now. Do you have any, are there teams that you know of that have already committed to joining the Elite American Football League? And you don't have to name them, but do you have some?
Yeah, I've got just in one day I had got a lot of a lot of people that either message me or call me, not just here but in Georgia.
Right.
So I got a good amount of teams in Georgia that hit me up. So the idea, I talked to Ron Scarlata, and if we can build a Georgia conference and a Florida conference, that's fine. That'd be great. And also we don't want people to have to do a lot of travel, so people will play within the conference. Now, if there's teams that let us know from the beginning they don't mind traveling, then we will create the possibility for them to have another conference. But we're not forcing teams to travel crazy and do crazy, a lot of hour
Right.
travel. But if we could create a Georgia and a Florida conference, I'd be great. I mean, I had a team in Alabama say, "Well, what about us?" And I said, "Well, the thing is, well, we're close. We're literally, this many miles away from Atlanta. So we'll look at teams base by base, basis, and we'll
Sure.
see with the travel. But it's not unheard that we can't add a team from Alabama, as long as the travel within the teams in Georgia is not far. Because our ultimate goal is not to put stress on the teams or the owners, and alleviate travel and provide the most we can for them and support, that we can.
We are here with Michael Torres, and it feels weird to say, but he is the owner and founder of the amazing new Elite American Football League, and owner still, because you got the playoffs coming up, of the Orlando Phantoms. And Michael, what are some of the what will, again? And I just want to recap because people continue to log on. What will set your league apart? So recap that for us. What's going to set
Okay.
the EAFL apart?
Well, the one thing is, of course, the payouts. But what we're returning to these teams that hit the top four spots. Again, if you win the championship, you get a 10,000. Runner up get 3,000, and the conference championship runners up. So they don't even have to win it. Just make it there. You get $1,000. All right, that's the first thing. Second thing is the standards and the professional way we're going to run this. Hold people to the letter of the law. And not bend for anybody. So if a team is doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, they will be removed from the league. We don't feel like we're going to have to keep anybody because the scheduling. No, you will be out of here if you can't follow the rules and guidelines that we have. Also, the integrity of the game. So what I mean about that is teams that go have a game, when you know that the rules are as far as uniformity and the product on the field, that we will not tolerate different color helmets, pants, or anything of the sort. We're not going to let things just slide by, or an owner say, well, he was okay with it, so it should be fine. No, I don't care if another owner is okay with it. The standard is uniformity, because if we want to sell this to everybody that looks at the Brevard Sport Network and the game of the week, we can't have that on the field. We
Um,
want to be different than everybody.
Joaquin Pedroja asked Michael Torres, NFL rules question mark.
Well, what we want to run college rules. Reason why? I talked to many referees here in the state of Florida that have done semi-pro football. A lot of them rather do college because it's closer to high school, which they do high school games a lot. It's easier for them to transition. Now, when you go to NFL, that's a big gap between that and high school. They have to learn all this stuff. So within the league I'm in right now, we don't really have problems with the college rules. It's much easier for the referees. And at the end of the day, you always hear people say, "Oh, the refs blew this call. They didn't know the rules." Well, there's a reason why.
Do
There's
you
a big
find?
gap.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably find that you get better officiating because of
Exactly.
that. Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's what you want because that also protects the integrity of the brand.
Exactly.
The guys that you got throwing the laundry on the field, they're just as important to the game as the guys playing it. So again, tomorrow, tell us about the website, and you can log on to Brevard Sports Network, and we'll have links and all of that provided. But tell everybody about the website, and again, if they have a team that wants to transition over to the brand new beautiful, and I say beautiful because I'm excited about this, the new Elite American Football League. How can that happen?
Well, tomorrow, we haven't put a specific time, but we're looking at probably 6 or 7 p.m. releasing the website. Of course, as I said, the website will be the EAFL USA, .com.
Okay.
But so don't go clicking it now or going to it because it's not there. But that will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. If it's sooner, well, I'll put the link out and of course contact you, Alan, and let you know about it. And we'll be going from there. But it will have when you scroll on it, around the top, they'll say, teams that are want to apply. You just click it. There's a $50 application fee, and that's it. I mean, pretty simple. I mean, I tell all these teams, do your due diligence. Check what every league offers and what they do. I check their history. Check what car the co-owners. Find out. Do whatever is in the best interest of your organization. Because the one thing I will tell you, no matter if we have 6 teams or 20 teams, the payout is going to be the payout. Our payout is not dependent on how many teams we have. You will get your money. That is
I,
guaranteed. And if anybody knows Michael Torres and running the Phantoms, they know that little flyer you put up there, all that's guaranteed.
Yeah, I tell you, man, it is. It's absolute. And there's a question on here, and so somebody says, "What's the application fee for?" So go ahead and answer that one.
Well, the application fees, because we don't want people just sending applications and then playing around. We want
Right.
we want nothing but serious individuals applying for this league. If
And
I
I
do
think,
that, I'll have every team applying.
yeah, I think
And
that's fair. I think that's more than fair, and I think $50 application fee is certainly. I mean, you got to pay more than that to apply for an apartment, Michael.
yeah, well, if you look at it, I mean, look, we looked around semi-pro nationwide, and then we looked at the league fees and all that, and I think we're super competitive compared to other leagues. And being that what we offer up to 15, we offer $15,000 in payouts, and you
Right.
only pay $1,000. Shoot, the champion gets 10,000, so you spend 1,000, yeah, you got $9,000. I mean,
Yeah.
so that's very very low to be honest with you. There's other leagues that have way more higher league fees, and you don't get you're not getting that much.
And it's great. And it is absolutely money motivates me. I know it motivates you. It motivates everybody. And once you get beyond the college level, when you got kids and wives and full time jobs, and you still are blessed to have the ability to play this game, to
Mm-hmm.
know that the team that you play on has an opportunity to cash in on 10 grand, well, you will tend to apply yourself a little bit harder, wouldn't you?
Exactly. And you got to think about it also, Alan. A lot of times, and like I said, I looked around the different leagues. When you have either $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000 payout, a lot of times owners have paid a lot of money and use credit cards, so they're trying to pay off debt. But if you could give them more, they
Good
can
point.
share that to the team and run a party, put some towards their rings. It helps and everything because a lot of times when you win on this level, the players have to pay for their own rings. So if you get 10,000, you can cover half of the players' ring costs because you
So,
have the funds now.
so do you know where, like, and I know it's all early on, but these are all questions we're getting. Do you know, like, where you would hold, like championship weekend or any of that stuff yet?
Right now, no, but I mean, we have different facilities. To be honest with you, depending where the teams are, we will try to find a location. Look, I have a
You got great
um,
connections.
great connections, especially with Lake Brantley. I mean, Brian Schaefer, a guy who's been there for 30 years, runs the facilities and other things. Um, uh, Told me already, if you need me, hey, let me know. So I always have Lake Brantley, which is a great facility. You've been there,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
that could always host it, and we can find other places where it's in the middle. Let's say if we do get a lot of Georgia teams, we may find a location that's right there in the middle, so that people can come and not be too far to get to. In the future, we have big plans for other places and championship sites. I'm not gonna say anything because next year we have a lot more on the table. We didn't do everything this year, but there's a lot more. And to be honest, there's still a lot more in the next couple coming months. We're just not gonna let everything out.
No, I don't blame you. And so that's where we're going to stop it now. Tomorrow, if you have any questions, um, Reggie Lloyd says Lake Brantley is definitely a great place for a championship.
Yeah.
It's also a great place for a broadcast, too. Michael, first of all, thank you for allowing Brevard Sports Network to be a part of this. We're very excited about this. And we're going to bring you the best each and every week of EAFL action. And as we get set to wrap up, is there anything we didn't cover that you want to make sure that you get out there?
Well, you did a great job. I made a couple of I took a couple questions of people that were private messaging me, and I just want to make sure we cover everything. So yeah, we covered that. We covered that. Oh, okay, we're good there. You do a good job. Well,
I try, man. I try.
okay. Uh, okay. Man, you covered everything.
We got
Well,
it?
yeah, yeah. Hey, you covered everything. All I gotta say is, who wants to be elite?
That's right. Who wants to be elite? Well, I'll tell you what, we'll find out tomorrow. Again, you can keep it here on Brevard Sports Network. As soon as that link is released tomorrow, we'll get it out right here for the man himself, Mr. Michael Torres, and the EAFL. I'm Alan Zlotorzynski for the Brevard Sports Network. Are you elite? Have a great night, everybody.